All right, Miles, it's time to talk about a team we really like to cover, and that's the Chicago Bears. The Bears, like the rest of the NFL, are heading into the last slate of preseason games as they're filing the roster, trying to figure out who's going to make the team, who's going to have an impact this season, and who's not going to make the team, and who's going to, move on to maybe somewhere else in their NFL career. And there's one Bears player that's kind of come out of nowhere and is making a huge impact. And I know it's got a lot of Bears fans really excited. And I know you got the specifics on that. But before we get into that, Bears fans, look, this is a long storied franchise in NFL history. They're one of the original franchises. The Bears have had a lot of great players and a lot of great quarterbacks. I want you in the comments below to let us know who your favorite quarterback was. I mean, you can go back as far as Sid Luckman if you want, maybe Jim McMahon, maybe Kyle Orton, Jay Cutler, maybe even Rex Grossman. He did take y'all to a Super Bowl after all. Let us know in the comment section below who your favorite quarterback was. But Miles, what's the latest out of Chicago?
Yeah, Nick, if I had to pick, I would pick Brian Greasy just because I like the name, is memorable. I remember playing with him on Madden when I was a kid, so that would be who I go with. But yes, Bears have had a lot of stuff going on, but if you take the time to, look through this roster, there have been a lot of bright spots on this roster. You think of they drafted a young safety, Jaquan Brisker, who looked really nice. Fields looks very nice. Darnell Mooney looks really nice. Velus Jones Jr. looks really nice. Another addition to this roster who looks nice is Jack Sanborn, the Wisconsin Badger. Looks very, very good through the first two preseason games. And he's racked up 90 snaps of playtime, and in that time he has 14 tackles, an interception, a fumble recovery, and 3 tackles for loss. A stat machine, which is a great thing for a linebacker. When I think of stat machine linebackers, I think of guys like Darius Leonard, high motor, running over the field, racking up sacks, racking up plays all the time. And Sanborn seems to be like a really intelligent football player who has a nose for the ball and has been showing that he deserves to make this roster in the preseason. And who else to notice Sanborn than that of Brian Baldinger from the NFL Network, who does incredibly great breakdowns of NFL teams, plays, players, all kinds of stuff. If you need to get your fix for a really great breakdown, go check him out. But Baldinger, he really picked up on Sanborn. He's really liked him so far. He says that through the 2 preseason games that he has liked what he's seen from him, and he says that he will make the 53 of the Bears. He's a guy that's deserving of that. So I think that's been really great for the Bears so far. Another bright spot in this preseason. But Nick, what do you think of Sanborn so far?
So I think anytime you look at one of these young guys that kind of comes out of nowhere, right? You sit there and say, well, is this Baldinger's opinion, or what's the deal here? Obviously, he's filled up the stat sheet, but it's not just the stats, it's not just Baldinger. You got the advanced analytics. The guys at Pro Football Focus (PFF) gave Sanborn a 94.1 rating after his week 1 performance and week 1 preseason performance against the Chiefs. That is staggeringly high. Usually anything in the low to mid 80s is like a heck of a day. To grade out 94.1, that's an impressive performance. And then of course he followed it up with a strong game against the Seattle Seahawks. But the Bears coaching staff has also been impressed with his performance in the special teams game as well. He had 2 tackles against the Seahawks on special teams. So this is a guy who can, play the run, play the pass, playmaker, does a lot of things on special teams. So you're seeing, the Bears coaches like him. You see the advanced analytics like him. Baldinger likes him. This is a guy that's building a lot of momentum. And look, it's not unheard of to have undrafted linebackers come in, kind of work their way onto the roster and become legitimate players. I know one of your favorite guys, Bart Scott. He was an undrafted rookie, worked his way to the Ravens, had a really nice career with the Ravens and later with the Jets. And none other than an all-time great, probably Hall of Famer, James Harrison, right? He was an undrafted guy, similar kind of thing as Sanborn, where he didn't have all the good measurables and things like that, so he fell out of the draft. I'm not saying Sanborn will be Harrison, but there is a precedent for a guy like that to come in and make a team and do a great job. So if you look at the Bears situation with Sanborn right now, I really like it because this is a team that's really trying to find, talent and kind of reload a lot at a lot of key positions. And this looks like a really good steal for a team that's, they drafted well in the secondary, getting some extra juice in linebacker to now that Roquan Smith is hopefully solved for the short term will be a big boost going forward.
Well, another point that I'd like to bring up is reading this article from Chicago Sports News is that Sanborn kind of sounds like a familiar story. At the combine, as you said, some of his measurables weren't the best, and that's probably why he fell as far as he did in the draft. But measurables aren't something, especially here on this show, that we like to hang our hats on. On-field productivity is way more important and should be weighted higher. Measurables are important, but on-field productivity is much more important. And when you look at Sanborn, he ran a 4.73 in his 40 at the combine. You know who else ran a high 4.7 40? I said his name wrong earlier. It is now Shaquille Leonard of the Colts. I forgot he changed his name, so I apologize for that. But all-pro Colts linebacker Shaquille Leonard ran a 4.7 40 at the combine. So speed isn't everything. You know who else did is Arizona Cardinals linebacker Zaven Collins ran a 4.67, so close to a 4.7 40. And he's been great by all accounts so far. And Shaquille Leonard obviously is a monster maniac, some would say. But I think we need to look past the measurables and look at the on-field productivity, and the stats don't lie. It seems like he's been racking up stats on the field. He's been a very productive player, and that's what I like so far about Sanborn.
And there's one other thing about Sanborn, Bears fans, you should love to root for this guy because he's from Deer Park, right outside of Chicago. It's a local boy doing good. It's a great story, so keep your eye on it. I agree with Baldinger's probably going to make the team. It's going to probably have a big impact. This is a guy I think Bears fans is going to really come to know and love over the next few years.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.